with neighbors in the Park Hill community on High.
Loudest fucking call I've ever seen, man. Offensive offsides, man. It should. I mean, it's. Hey, Bill. Hey.
Ship. Two reasons I'm playing this song. It'll make sense to you in a
They
second.
filled in the Panama Canal?
No.
Okay. Good, because the holidays are coming. We're going to need that.
One is because Van Halen is Kevin's favorite band, and he's not here tonight.
Well, we play Sammy Hagar.
I know, but Van Halen overall.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, okay.
And that's not the main reason to play. What's that?
For years, I thought he was yelling, "Animal!"
You did?
Oh, yeah, when I was a
Okay.
kid. I didn't know any better.
All right. So, when I called myself Moranimal, because Mark Moran at St. John Fisher called himself Moranimal, and I go, can I use that on the radio? And he's like, yeah. Uncle Raj used to come in, and whenever Panama was on, and they'd hit this part right here, he'd go, Moranimal. Moranimal.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, Uncle Raj.
So that's where that came from.
Uncle Raj would do that. So Charlie Fitzsimmons, who was producing Weeze's show and then went on to production and then has gone on to what I would say is an empire of restaurants, because I don't think even most people know exactly what's happening with Charlie.
Odds are you're eating somewhere under Charlie's roof.
Charlie sang Moranimo, and then anytime I did like an edgy joke or something, I would hit this stinger and go Moranimo, and people fucking loved it. And it got me from part-time to, they put me in afternoons.
Yeah.
I was fresh out of college, and I'm doing afternoons on CMS.
And you weren't just talking up records. You got to do your own, show.
Yeah, I was doing a show.
Like most people will be just talking up records.
So, yeah, I got to do bits and everything. So, I'm getting ready for the holidays and things, and we're doing a lot of pods in here during the week. And I hope you'll check these out. There'll be one. I've done a couple of one-on-ones. I really enjoy those. I love what we do, but I love the one-on-ones as well. And I love them because I am very curious, and I love talking to people and hearing their story. And I love what was their road to success and what's the commonality for everybody who's successful. So Gary Craig came in here, and it is one of my all-time favorites. I've really enjoyed that conversation, and I hope you do as well. It's about an hour and 20 minutes nonstop. I will play excerpts from it next week. And then today, Charlie Fitzsimmons came in. I haven't seen Charlie in a number of years. We worked together at a radio station here in Rochester, and then Charlie left, and he talked all about his leaving from radio and how he tried to do it, and it's a really funny story. And then how he opened this restaurant that really buoyed the East End of I mean, they, as much as you look at change, right, wherever you live, you go, I remember when this was blank. It could have been booming and now it's not, or it was nothing and it became something. Right where we sit in Fairport, New York, we have a distillery called Iron Smoke Distillery, great sponsor of the podcast, but also the first business in the cannery. Mm-hmm. And now the cannery has exploded because Tommy Burnett and his vision showed, and it floated everybody in that area. You see what I'm saying? Well, Charlie, the same thing with the East End when they built Tonic. But when Charlie came in today, I'll let you just hear it, and then a conversation happens after that. And I think it's going to potentially bother some people. I considered editing this out, and then I thought, no, I'm going to leave it in there because it is what I believe. And well, here it is. Ship, man. This guy, Charlie Fitzsimmons. I met Charlie. Okay, so that was you. You know what's so weird is, so I forget who I was telling the story to. It was Uncle Raj, who it was the 20th anniversary yesterday of his murder, which I have an unpopular opinion on sometimes.
Oh, how so? You're for it?
No, but I'll say this because we're 20 years past.
Yeah.
I think at this point I'm okay.
Right.
So years ago, I would drive Raj to meetings when Stanley was the program director, and we were all there, and we would meet at Stan's house on Harvard Street. Raj would ask me to pick him up, and we'd go over and do this. And there was a time in the studio that he had left his sweatshirt like on the chair, and he was out doing production, and I moved it, and his gun fell out.
Oh.
And it was just in like a zip-up sweatshirt, not in a holster or anything, just in the side pocket of this thing. Yeah. Just fell out. I fucking almost shit my pants. I don't know. I'm picking the thing up like
so heavy.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God. So I said to him, hey, I'm really sorry. Your gun fell out. I didn't know what to do. So I'm basing it on this.
Yeah.
They've never been able to find anybody.
Right.
Nobody really knows what happened. He did own property and he was collecting rent.
Yeah.
But is it possible that the gun went off and hit him in the abdomen?
Oh.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't.
Not on purpose, but a pure accident. Could something have happened? Could he have been startled where he had the gun, he reached for it to do something? And I only say that because, and it sounds terrible, and you're blaming the victim kind of thing that people always say with this, but there wasn't any secure way. It was just only from my own experience. It's just you had a zip
in a backpack.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was in the side pocket. And if that's where you kept it, right? And he was shot in the abdomen. Is it possible that you reached inside to get it and accidentally it went off?
Yeah.
And no one really could tell.
Want to shoot that guy?
He was the nicest, sweetest guy.
He was the nicest, sweetest guy. He bailed me out.
He bailed you, really?
Well, just with the morning show, because I had to get up.
Yeah.
And he'd turn over the mic to the We Show, and I was the producer at that time. And I was 23, 24. So getting up at that hour was, that was half the challenge. So I'd come in on two wheels sometimes and late, 6:05, 6:10 or something. Yeah. And he'd be giggling. And he's just so sweet. I got you. Go do your thing. And then I come in. He'd put on Freebird, a real long song. And then I come in and where are my notes?
That's so. All right, there you go. So what I'm saying is the unpopular opinion is that yesterday or this week, and this podcast will run over Christmas week, Uncle Raj was shot and killed. I remember it because I was going to interview at a station in North Carolina. Okay. And I was debating whether or not I leave. I got the call that night. I'm supposed to get on the plane the next day. I was telling my wife, I'm like, what do we do? Because she was coming with me. I don't know, Uncle Raj, and I can say I was close with Raj, but I was close with Raj. He was more than a coworker, and I'd been over to his house. We had talked about his kid. I had met his family. I knew his wife. It was more than just somebody I
worked with,
shared a mic with. Once in a while. So, but then all the services and things were later on, and of course we have the great story of Steve Hausman and his bad breath, and how I said his breath's so bad, Uncle Raj sat up and closed the lid because it was an open casket at the wake. But Uncle Raj, they never found anybody, and there was a rumor that his son was with him. I don't know, and I'm not trying to blame the victim. I'm just saying that, and it wasn't a side pocket. It was take like a not even a just a flimsy, zip up hoodie, nothing. On the inside, they had those big long, like they would sew extra fabric in there and make a pocket out of it.
Yeah.
So it was a deep pocket. That's where the gun was. When I picked up the sweatshirt and it fell out. So and when I saw the gun, man, I go, fuck, that thing goes off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Could be you, could be anybody.
Well, it would have probably been my foot. Who knows if it ricochets somewhere?
Yeah.
And the fucking noise.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a gun goes off and you're not expecting it. Your ears are ringing for a week. So I'm taking that, and I thought this when I heard the story, and it was like probably months later. I'm like, man, I wonder if something happened where he got startled, if the gun was in there and it's not in a holster, and maybe it was just I'm just opining here, right?
Yeah.
Because he may have had a holster, and maybe he didn't have it that night. Maybe he didn't wear it. And he goes, I'm just going to throw this in here.
Yeah.
And he did work midnight to 6, and walking in at strange hours, and there were some weirdos who show up at radio stations and stuff. And,
right.
So I don't know, but I always wondered, could it have been, because I believe it was like he hit a major artery in his abdomen area, and the bullet severed that. And could it have been at just such a close range? The damage was irreparable, and could it have been an accidental thing? And we just never knew that.
Yeah, that's a reasonable theory.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like we talk about things.
I figured now that we're 20 years past.
I mean, we talk about things in hushed tones for so long, but we just put it out there. So I think sometimes it takes a little time, and you need a little morning time or whatever. But maybe just put it out in the open and discuss it. That could be a possibility. Now, my thought immediately to that is, okay, like when they bring him to the hospital when he's finally declared dead, right? Mm-hmm.
I think they tried to get in there and say,
they tried to save him. They pulled the bullet out. If they knew was he found with a gun on the scene? Like, was his gun with him? Because you can look at the bullets inside the gun, see if it matched the bullet in his abdomen.
I think I don't remember. I don't remember.
Because I remember that night, because I was at Matthew's East End Grill. If you remember that, that's how long ago it was. And Mike DiGiorgio came up to me, who I worked with at Wham. He goes, "Bro, you won't believe what happened tonight." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Uncle Raj was murdered." I said, "What?" Yeah,
I remember getting a call from everybody and like,
and I remember Uncle Raj because I would listen to CMF on my way into Wham. Yeah. And I'm like, "Where's he broadcasting from? Mark's Texas Hot?" Because he had the background noise.
Uncle Raj's All Night Rock and Roll Cafe, which I stole when I did overnights in Poughkeepsie for the first time. I used to have the All Night Rock and Roll Cafe, and I handed out the lampshade of shame and did shit like that. But it was all based on Raj, who I had never met at that point. I had only heard him.
And he did so much for like local music too.
He was a big guy for local music. He had the Homegrown series and all that stuff. But anyway, it was just interesting reconnecting with somebody, and then I just told that story, and that leads to a funny story of Charlie that involved the gun, and maybe we'll play a little bit of that next week, and then you can hear the whole thing over Christmas week. But what Charlie Fitzsimmons has done. And I always say this to people, is like he's a pretty humble guy and just kind of one of these guys that works hard, but Charlie has such a demeanor about him that it's just calm, cool, collected. Like I remember when he was younger, chicks would go fucking crazy for this guy.
Well, didn't he look like Eddie Vedder, you said? Or Tommy said that. Yeah.
Better looking Eddie Vedder.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And and
not that I think Eddie Vedder's attractive.
And he was just a nice. He just was a nice kid, and he was also, his dad was a lawyer, and but he loved having fun. That was his whole aim in life, was to just have fun and be creative, and that's what he's done. And I think that's really led to his success. But I will give you a little preview. The restaurants he owns here, he owns Black and Blue and JoJo. And then there's JoJo's in Webster, and then he's opened up the Village Bakery, and the Village Bakery is in Pittsford, Eastview Mall, Culver Road Armory, and in Webster, in a building that he owns. He owns something in the Village of Fairport.
Okay.
Yeah, it's under development.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he also owns Black and Blue in Buffalo, Albany, Massachusetts, and he's opening one right now, in Boston.
Besides the one here.
Besides the the original Black and Blue here. Yeah.
Good for him. God bless him.
And it's all from somebody who the intention wasn't to own a bar or restaurant. And if you listen to the podcast, it's because I really highlight. I go, wait a second. Yeah. He's like, yeah, this is what we were going to do. This was our intention. And then we get in this space and look around, and things changed. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just
to have an epiphany like that. Well, the idea bulb just go off, and you're like, you know what?
It's just, I think it's one of these things where you are following your inspiration, and that's what you need to do. When you're inspired to do something, get off your ass and do it. How many times do people go, God, I had this great idea, man, I had that idea for Flex Seal years ago. Remember we built the boat? You know, I'm just giving an example.
Yeah,
But you know what I'm saying?
I was Billy Mays before Billy Mays.
So if you have the inspiration, get off your dead ass and follow it. And maybe this happens for you. I don't know. But I love these kinds of conversations because hopefully you feel good after it. Maybe you feel inspired after it. Or maybe you learn something. Or maybe you get a little motivation. Because I even said to him, I go, Charlie, I find what you've done inspiring. You know, I called it an empire. And he goes, I don't think of it as an empire. And he said to me later on, he goes, I'm driving out of Boston the other day going, what the fuck? How did all this happen? I don't even get it. You know, he's like, there's always one day a week I feel like I'm paranoid to do anything, make a move, do anything. You know, so, I mean, just gives you a real human element.
Oh, yeah.
How he sees success.
I used to work with one of his sister-in-laws. So, actually, two of them now that I think about it.
So, then, during all that, Kevin, I guess, is pretty upset with us.
I think he's upset with me.
Yeah, I hope so.
I don't think he's upset with you.
No?
I think he's upset with me.
Well, what? So, okay, let's kind of put this out. Last night, just a recap for people.
Yeah,
I just like to.
Yeah, no,
and
yeah.
It helps me.
It's
in
like when you
my
watch
organization.
Sopranos, they
It's
give you like
I need to know.
the previous episode so you know what they're going to talk about.
On Sunday, after the Bills game, we were at Greg Connor's house.
Yeah.
And Kevin has, and I think this is great, Kevin has ingratiated himself, and I mean that in a positive way,
yes,
to many people who have kind of been in my orbit and around the podcast. Greg Connors being one of them. He's been a friend for a while, and Greg has kind of welcomed everybody. And he's very, very hospitable.
Yeah, he likes my wife more than he likes me. He's great.
He's very generous with things. So we did the podcast over there, and he has helped Kevin with some, I think, personal things that have been going on with his mom and stuff, and just giving advice. And so Kevin brought a Christmas gift, and Kevin presented it to Greg on the air, and then it seemed like he thought you were offended.
So I made a comment, but I'm used to the world of radio where you kind of like fill the gaps and stuff, like Tommy and you and I would always do with each other. Like you just throw in some commentary as a joke.
You realize that like sometimes I just hear it, but
I said, "Oh, this is when we're giving the gifts." Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember saying it, but Kevin texted me the next day.
Yeah.
Said, "Hey, I didn't mean to make you feel bad."
Right. So then you read that text on the air last night. On the podcast
because we made a comment about. I always break Kevin's balls when he's here or not.
Right.
You know, and thinking that I know he's going to listen to the podcast and then fire back at some point, which
Doug
is fine.
did this whole thing where he that Kevin's gift of 4 Buffalo Bill shot glasses in a flash are from aisle 4 of the dollar store, right? And then he just sent a little while ago. He goes, "Where's Kevin tonight? Out shopping for Greg's gift, and it's the Delta Sonic collect all 8 Buffalo Bills glasses." You know, just being a wise ass.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was just an off the cuff remark. And
I got a very quick call from Kevin today because we were supposed to have somebody on the podcast with us tonight, and they could not make it. They were not feeling well. So he called me and goes, "Hey, I just got a call from," it was supposed to be a private chef who cooks with THC, who said he can't make it tonight. And I said, "Okay." And he goes, "All right." And that was it. Hung up, gone. Normally there's a little more conversation that I didn't. There was no more. So but you know what? I just thought he's probably busy and I'm busy and I don't, you know.
So I got a text from Kevin, and he wasn't too happy with me for saying that, and because I read the text that he sent me on the air, because I said it was no big deal. Then he explained why he gave Greg the gift.
Yeah,
and I'm like, bro, it's okay. But we were kind of just talking about how Kevin is always kind of like just wants to make sure everything's okay because he can be a little nervous sometimes, so he wants to just explain things. And I'm like, that's all I was trying to describe. That Kevin like sometimes over explains things to make a point. I'm like, no, it's no big deal, really. You're hurting my feelings. You didn't embarrass me or anything like that. I plan to give Greg something, and you and everybody, and Kevin too, and everybody who's part of the podcast. And I just made that comment, and so he got upset that I read the text on the air, and I sent him an apology note, and I haven't heard back from him. And thing is,
you sent him an apology?
An apology text. Saying like, hey, I'm sorry, it wasn't meant for that. We break each other's balls all the time, and it was just like I was just having fun with it. But I know you listen to the podcast. It's not like I was talking behind your back. I was saying it into a microphone, knowing full well you would listen. I figured like today when you finally listened, you'd probably respond back. Oh, he did, but it wasn't flattering. And I guess he didn't like what I had to say.
What did he say?
I'll read. Should I read this text?
Yes.
Because he was.
Wait, hang on. Before you do that.
Okay.
Before you get that, I need to find the right accompaniment.
Well, I'll stick an End of the Road by Boyz II Men where the dude goes, "Baby, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause you no pain."
All right, because I was going to find some soap opera music.
Okay.
But I think the End of the Road from Boyz II Men. Hang on, don't jump on it. Hang on, we gotta make this right, Danny.
Okay. Set the mood.
Yeah, and maybe you can come up with a heartfelt, Christmas-inspired apology for what you've done, you silly bastard.
Hey,
Kevin.
Sorry about that. I thought I was breaking balls, and I know you listen, so I didn't think anything of it.
This is what you wrote him?
This is what I wrote him.
Oh, okay, keep going. And the way you're doing it.
And thought you'd take it as ball busting. Like lighthearted character stuff we used to do in radio. I had my balls broken all the time by Tommy Muley. He was great at it. I didn't realize.
You got butt hurt too sometimes.
Oh, I did. And he'd tell me, "Quit pouting, bro." And that kind of toughened me up a little bit. I didn't realize that would bother you, or else I wouldn't have said anything. Now I know better. So I apologize. It wasn't intended for ill will. Come back to me, Kevin. Baby, come back to me. That last part I threw in.
What did he write to you?
He didn't respond to that.
What did he write originally? Did you read that?
Yeah, I can respond. Yeah,
you did not read that.
No, I'm just reading what I wrote.
Yes, but I want to hear what he wrote you.
Dude, I listened to the show last night. Thanks for reading my text. Tony, I think he meant to write to you. I think that's what he meant to.
No, he was writing fast.
Yeah.
That's when you're angry. You fat finger it.
On the show.
Or you're just Kevin.
Yeah. Thanks for reading my text, Tony, on the show and making me sound like a little bitch. Okay. FYI, I'm not coming in tonight now.
Wow.
Jeez, I feel bad now that I read that.
Wow. I didn't even get that.
So that's why I didn't want to read it. Because now I'm really going to get it tomorrow. Kevin, come back to me. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean that.
Should we call Kevin?
Yeah, go ahead. Please forgive me, baby.
Can you handle it?
I'm so sorry, Kevin. I know Belichick's leaving New England. I'm sure that's probably on his mind. But I mean, we were just having fun with him, which I know he listens to the podcast every day, so I figured he, responded in kind with like a ball-breaking comment of his own. But he was pretty upset, so I apologize, Kevin. And at first I was like, is he joking or is he serious? But it wasn't meant for that. And to be honest with you, it's like the Sean McDermott stuff. It really is not that big a deal.
All right, let's see. We're trying to call Kevin.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
We're on the podcast.
How you doing?
Oh, I can barely hear you guys. I'm at the rink.
All right. Well, we're on the podcast. And
Okay.
Danny has just read your text on the air.
Oh!
Is it the World Cup?
Did Tyler score?
Yeah.
Did he really?
Oh, wow.
What a cool moment. What a cool moment. No, Danny we're calling because you said you weren't coming in tonight because you were upset with Danny reading the text on the air, so we were trying to smooth things over. Oh, we lost him. He hung up on us.
Baby, I'm sorry. Right here, yeah.
Right now, I'm just in so much pain.
I'm in so much pain.
Just won't come back.
You won't come back to us. You hung up the phone.
Just
come back.
All right, here we go. Hang on.
I'm lonely. Yes, Kevin.
baby, my heart
He
is
goes, I can't hear you, is what he said.
My heart hurts, baby.
I feel pain too, Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin, please.
Okay. Well, we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, apparently cliffhanger. That was not planned, folks. I mean, I feel terrible, but at the same time, like, he breaks my balls all the time. He breaks yours. I don't have a problem with it. I don't care. Like, I've learned to loosen up over the years and not take myself so seriously. I'm not saying he does.
You're better.
Better. What part do I need to improve?
Beth even sees it a little bit. You get wound up.
I do get wound up. Even during that Tyler done, I got wound up defending Tyler.
Well, yeah,
I'm very impassioned.
I was trying to. My fear with the Tyler thing was I didn't want to be too soft, I guess.
No, we were just right.
But I felt like, I didn't have the same view as other people, and so I reread the article, and I had even less of the same view. of other people. But so that's why because I don't want people to think, well, anybody you have on, you just kind of kiss their ass. Well,
No, we clearly don't.
Maybe we do.
We got a guy who's mad at me right now. So I mean, but I didn't mean for that to
fuck her
happen.
up because that's a big ass to kiss, buddy. Woo!
But don't we do that all the time? Don't we like break? I mean, he breaks my.
That's how I live my life. I don't know.
So I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm sorry, and I just won't.
All right.
I won't mention
Well, you
it
know
again.
what? Maybe what we do is we give Kevin a Woodcliff.
Hotel and Spa gift card. Maybe you should call up.
We have $100 Woodcliff Hotel and Spa gift cards, and you can use these at this unbelievable gem of a place right here in the greater Rochester area,
overlooking the Finger Lakes region.
If you're in
and
Syracuse,
Rochester.
come on up. If you're in the Buffalo area, we're getting a lot more listeners in Buffalo. Come down. You will love it there.
Yeah.
And you can book your own thing. Go to woodcliffhotelspa.com and you'll find all kinds of, they have like, I think it's /Winterfest, and you'll find all kinds of things on there. I should actually find that before I tell you. I had the script right in front of me. But here's the point. We have $100 gift cards to give away. You can get a couple of wonderful treatments at their high-end spa, their upscale spa there. Or you could go and have it toward dinner, or you could use it toward an overnight stay, whatever you want. I please call 585-206 8866, and somebody's going to win it. We're going to give one away tomorrow.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to give one away tomorrow. And actually,
another one next week for Christmas.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. The guy I would choose has actually left a voicemail. I don't think I recorded it because it's somebody I know, but I want to get the story as to what happened. But this friend of mine who was fairly close with me, and life goes on. You have kids and stuff.
Yeah, you say stupid things on text and people don't stop talking to you.
He said that he almost died 6 weeks ago. I think he may have had a heart attack. And he is not a guy that you look at and go, heart attack.
Wow, sounds like me.
Yeah. No, I look at you, I say heart attack.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Or a seizure.
He said 911 was called and it saved his life. So maybe we'll call him tomorrow as part of our thing. And then tomorrow also, we will be joined by Stephanie and Mike.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Stephanie Ide and her boyfriend, Mike. Yes, so...
We got Peter, too.
You can go to woodcliffhotelspa.com/winter. And, I mean, all your winter dreams become the merriest of gifts.
Yes, absolutely.
But I'm just telling you, this is a great place. And what a fun place to even just go grab a drink. Stop in there during the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out. Check it out a little bit. The wine bar is impressive. And really knowledgeable bar staff and very open and friendly. It's just, I'm telling you, it's a gem. If you haven't been there in a while, get out to the Woodcliff Hotel and Spa and find out more at woodcliffhotelspa.com. A little bit. The wine bar is impressive. It's one headlight. You know what I'm realizing? It doesn't feel like Christmas this year for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think we go through this. I go through this every year. Where
Do you?
It doesn't feel like it's Christmas.
No, I have
Because
so
there's no
much
snow on the ground, or
maybe, but I just have so much stuff going on that I haven't been, I have my kids and stuff. I didn't put my tree up in my place. I will do that. I think it's good for the mental state and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I just haven't. And so tonight, I actually found myself getting annoyed with somebody, and it almost feels like I shouldn't say that I was annoyed. But there was a car parked out here, and on their roof is a speaker, but it's like a tinny speaker, and they're blasting music. But they're not blasting Christmas music. They're just blasting like pop music or whatever. So I walk outside. I go, what is going on? And I look. And it's a car with a menorah on top, and they're playing. And I know satellite radio has like the Hanukkah channel, and it's like, just a lot of talented artists were Jewish, and so I think that's what they're playing on that channel. But I was just trying to record something, so I'm getting annoyed, and it's blaring, and it's just sitting out there, and it's tinny, and it's not even. And I go, what is going on? And then they go, are you allowed to say anything in the state of the world anymore? That I was annoyed, and the guy, I wouldn't care. If they had Christmas trees standing on top of it, I still would have been annoyed. I was just, can I say, because it was a menorah, are you allowed to say that I was annoyed at this person for blasting tinny music that you couldn't really hear? It was echoing off a building. It was parked in a no parking area anyway.
You're allowed to say that. Annoying's
Right.
annoying. Okay, it doesn't matter what flavor of annoying.
I go, oh, and then I'm thinking, what if you live next to somebody that just goes over the top with the decorations?
So you can't sleep at night
Right.
because like the lights like going into your window, your bedroom window.
When I lived for a very brief minute in Webster, there was a guy that every year did this outrageous over-the-top display. People would slow down. It was kind of, people hit it. And it's cute for the kids to see and all. I go, but if you live next to that guy, you need blackout curtains in every fucking room that faces that side of the house. It would annoy the shit. You live across from them, you need it. It was like, I got to
Well, it's funny because like they have zoning laws for a reason. So do the zoning laws not count during the holidays?
What's the zoning law? Yeah, probably not. I don't know that they zone for that. Now, hang on. It's funny you bring this up. I see an article in the New York Times, and I go, wait a second. That's near where I grew up. LaGrangeville. LaGrangeville is like this just nowhere town.
Didn't ZZ Top write a song about that?
No, that was LaGrange.
Yeah, I
know. Another nowhere town. Yeah, so I'm reading about this, and it's the whole article is about LaGrangeville and this guy that goes over the top every year for the Christmas display. And it says a couple in New York State named Tim and Grace Gay, the gays, hold the record for the most Christmas lights on a residential property. Back in 2012, they put up over 346,000 lights. Then they beat their own record in 2014 by almost doubling that with over 600,000.
How'd they count them?
So probably each bowl. Who knows? If it's a record, and I don't know, it doesn't say it's a Guinness record, so I don't know. Thousands of people visit their house every December in LaGrangeville, just outside Poughkeepsie, and it is sort of outside Poughkeepsie. They use it as a fundraiser for local charities, and they've raised close to $700,000 over the years.
Oh, wow.
That's a wonderful thing. That's very nice. Okay. We can give them that,
That's
right?
That's a lot of money.
That's right. But now they're dealing with a growing distaste among their neighbors.
You're a mean one, Mr. Gay.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
And by the way, you got that many light bulbs. I don't care if you're doing it for charity, pal.
Bro, if NASA can see you from the space shuttle,
got a problem.
You got a little problem.
All right.
It's one thing when you're Las Vegas.
The lights are very bright. There's an endless line of cars, and they blast music through big speakers. I'd have to move.
Oh, yeah, because people want to see it.
I'd have to move. A guy named Edward, I don't know how you pronounce his last name, compared it to running a Legoland out of your property for 40 days a year. So they start this in the beginning of November and probably run through New Year. He ran for a seat. This guy ran for a seat on the town board last year just to make the city rein in the display. His only purpose to get on the board was to get a neighbor to cut the shit.
Wow.
This is phenomenal. I want to find this guy, and I will. But he lost with 15% of the vote. That was his only platform, so no one's voting for him. This year's display is bigger than ever and should set another record. They say it includes over 720,000 lights, 1,700, 1,700 strobes, and a playlist with 255 songs.
See, the strobes and the playlist are what would drive me nuts. I think the lights you might be able to get used to if they don't like keep flashing, or if they flash at a certain pattern. But when you get to the strobes, I mean, you could like if you have epilepsy, you could
They open
or
up,
even if you don't, if you
right.
get that stuff, you could like remember those cartoons in Japan they were talking about that were making kids sick.
So it's not 40 days. Like that guy said, they open the day after Thanksgiving and it runs through December 28th. Now, they don't plan to do it forever. They say once they hit the grand total of $1 million in donations, they'll stop. Man, I would be I'd be taking bank loans.
Yeah. You're like shaming people into donating to tear down your lights. Just turn it off.
Please. Well, there you go.
They're not really giving from the heart.
No, look, if you go to like the fairgrounds and you drive through, or there's some place down in Syracuse along Onondaga Lake that you can go through the park. And it's
isn't there a place in Victor where you can do that?
That's lovely. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. You're shining in my fucking bedroom. I'm annoyed.
We got a problem.
I'm annoyed.
We got a problem.
Mm-hmm. Danny, you have a wife.
Yeah, I do. I've had two if you're collecting the total. But yeah, I have one right now, yes.
Oh, you're beating me.
You'll catch up.
No.
No?
Nah.
You ain't going to get married again?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm all right.
I thought the same thing.
No, me and Doug. Turn into Doug.
But you got to start getting you want to start getting involved in some wills, though, Bill.
Yeah, well.
Will planning for other people.
I'm just saying, I didn't explain properly. Like, when I said Doug's house looks like a fort, what I mean is it's like a little kid's fort. You know what I mean? Like a little kid gets...
And did he get offended? Did he get upset when you said that?
But I'm just saying, like, you go in, like, the kid's got, hey, we built a room over the garage. It's the kid's fort in there, you know? That's what Doug's house is like. And then you go in, and, I mean, there's things that would just never happen. If a woman lived there, the shit wouldn't be like this.
Yeah.
It's cluttered.
My Paul O'Neill posters coming down.
You don't know where to
my
sit
Josh
down.
Allen fathead's coming down.
You got all the these 49er shit that's just awkwardly around the room. Some of it needs to be dusted. He's got his sex swing for the plant, right? That has no plant in it hanging from the ceiling. That's never happening. That's all I'm saying. But no.
But yeah, I have a wife at home, and she balances me out.
So there's a story that
sometimes with meds
that I saw that I always go, these things are very creepy, but I would be an awful partner to have in a situation like this. But I will let you, this is a story out of Denver, but we've had similar things happen here.
With neighbors in the Park Hill community on high alert after they say a man broke into several homes and stole intimate items, including women's underwear.
One homeowner even...
I'm not laughing because it's funny.
We laugh
because somebody would do that.
Yes. Yes. Isn't that, it's somewhat disturbing that someone would do that, I would think. And I laugh, but my initial thought is, I get it's uncomfortable, it's creepy, but nothing happened. But then you have to go, well, what's the next level, right? Mm-hmm. Where does this stop? And usually these things don't regress, they progress.
Been captured video of who police are calling a potential suspect in at least one of these cases. Fox 31's Aaliyah Sims spoke to some of those neighbors today. Aaliyah.
Hey, Aaliyah, nice panties.
Good look at that man. Get this. One neighbor I spoke to tells me the bizarre situation has happened to her and her roommate on not one, not two, but three separate occasions.
You guys should start selling them. I mean, make some fucking money, ladies. You got to...
Maybe bedazzle them a little.
No, that's terrible. I would... Now, that would be very uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to know that anybody has been in your space.
Oh, yeah, when you're not there.
When you're not there. You feel very violated.
Some of the items that you think that a thief would want to steal.
He totally passed over completely. I mean, money, medications, like PlayStations, computers, didn't even grab any of that.
She's recalling the
Hey, come steal my stuff.
He wanted a PlayStation, baby.
Moment she said.
I mean, that's just, I mean, the fact that she actually said, hey, here's all the stuff in my house, they're going to have other creeps coming by.
As this man broke into her home, she asked to remain anonymous, but tells me the first time he came through her window in July.
All of the lights were on in the house. It seemed like he chose to come when there was someone there. My roommate was asleep in my bedroom. I was not home at the time.
She says her roommate grabbed a knife and went to approach the man.
He shoved my roommate into the wall. My roommate stabbed him twice, pretty shallow. He had something in his...
She slashed him is probably what happened, right? Yeah. Get away, right? Oh, I don't know.
His mouth. It was a sexual toy.
That's when she tells me police were called and he ran.
All right, now I take it all back. If a guy's in your house with a sex toy in his mouth and he's going through your roommate's underwear drawer, you freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
She drove that knife in harder.
Ran. She says he came back 3 weeks later.
Man, he must like the scent or something.
This time, captured on video. Saturday, she saw a post from a neighbor on Nextdoor telling a very similar story.
I went into my office and I noticed that the window was wide open. There was no screen, which I thought was really weird because every time we leave the house, like I always make sure the windows are closed.
She didn't think much of it until she started to get dressed.
And as I was looking through my drawers, I noticed that all my underwear had gone missing.
Neighbors, terrified to sleep at night, are now hoping the man can be caught. And
by the way, where are their boyfriends or husbands? Oh. Jesus Christ, get a fucking bat and go. Seriously.
No, it's weird because the one guy...
I can't take the whining anymore. And I can't take you coming in here, right? I need to fucking sleep. Now... You know what? You scared my wife. I got that. Now you're disrupting my life.
Yeah.
And it's all about me, and I'm going to kill you.
Soon. It seems dangerous at this point.
He needs to be caught. He needs to be stopped. He's not going to stop until we do something.
Yeah, and police tell me this man could be linked to both of those homes because of the similar stories and how closely the women live to one another, but investigators are working to gather more information. If you can help identify this man or locate him, you are asked to contact our partners at Metro Denver Crime Stoppers. In studio, Aaliyah Sims, Fox 31.
All right, there you go.
Wow, to ask for a new boyfriend.
All right.
What?
I wasn't going to say. That's a very creepy thing, and it is.
Yes.
I mean, I'm making.
It's horrible.
I'm making very stupid base jokes, but I do think, like, I am surprised that. I mean, if your wife's upset, you're pissed. If your wife's upset because somebody has done something physically that just makes her whole person feel unsafe. It bothers you. You want to go seek a little justice here.
Yes, go do something. Take the law into your own hands.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't. That's a bad idea.
That's why
don't be a vigilante. But baseball bat.
This were Texas, but that's not. It's Colorado.
No, but I'm saying either way, usually those things don't end well.
No,
they usually don't end well.
But oh my goodness, yeah. I mean like
we had a friend that tried to tase somebody at a bar, and that guy wrestled the taser away and tased him. And that man's name was Joe Bricado.
Oh wow!
Got tased by his own taser in a bar trying to defend a woman. The guy just took it, flipped Joe around, boom, put him on the ground, and then zzz.
How do you like it?
Yeah, it's like fucking unreal.
Thank you, soldier.
So there you go. But if that happened to Beth,
yeah, I'd be pretty upset.
Are you going to be on the prowl?
Oh yeah.
Like wouldn't you like want to wait outside?
I would be like Mike the Dad. That's the first guy I thought.
Yeah,
the late great Mike the Dad, who's I still have his last voicemail on my phone. I've never erased it. Passed away in 2014.
Yeah,
and he used to talk about
hey Danny, I tell you what, I went and I sat in a truck. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that. I was waiting.